coming up on BCN today. Lethbridge rings in a new year and sees its first baby of the decade. Plus, we show you spectacular New Year's Eve fireworks displays from around the world. And thousands of tourists fleeing Australia's eastern coast as high temperatures and strong winds expect to fan wildfires this weekend.
Your Canada. Your southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Roche.
Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020. Thank you for joining us for our first newscast of this brand new decade. Lethbridge welcomed its first baby of 2020. The New Year's baby boy, named Daxton Matthew Mueller, was born at Chinook Regional Hospital at 7:47 a.m. January 1st by C-section, weighing in at 6 pounds, 3 ounces. He was welcomed into the world by his parents, Melissa Foley and Ryan Mueller, and his older brother. And while they were celebrating with a new addition to their family, cities around the world brought in 2020 with elaborate fireworks displays. Check this out. That would be something. Quite a celebration. Meanwhile, some sad news. Lethbridge police are investigating the sudden death of an infant after being called to Chinook Regional Hospital early Tuesday. Investigation determined the 6-month-old boy was placed on a bed earlier in the evening to sleep. After a period of time, the father checked on the child and found he was not breathing. The mother called 911 and CPR was performed by the parents until emergency medical services arrived. The infant was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. An autopsy has been ordered to determine the cause of death. A boil water advisory has been issued for the town of Granham. Due to a water main break, Alberta Health Services has issued the order as a precautionary measure. All residents and businesses are advised to bring water to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute prior to any consumption, including drinking, cleaning raw food, preparing infant formula, juice, or making ice, etc. Water used for bathing or washing clothes does not need to be boiled. For hand washing, it is advised to use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer containing more than 60% alcohol. Residents may choose to purchase bottled water for the duration of this advisory, which will remain in effect until further notice. Lethbridge police have arrested a man involved in 2 separate incidents this past week. On Monday at around 1:20 p.m., a man was chased by another man to the front of City Hall, where he was punched and then stabbed in the leg. Police located the subject on Stafford Drive South, where he resisted arrest and assaulted the officers. A knife was seized from his waistband. The arresting officer recognized him from an unrelated incident on December 29th, where a group of people went into a liquor store and assaulted and restrained an employee while stealing from the business. The victims in both cases sustained non-life-threatening injuries. Garrett Shane Williams, age 38, of Lethbridge, is facing several charges, including assault with a weapon. Williams is currently in custody awaiting a release hearing. As of January 1st, Ottawa has begun imposing its federal carbon tax, forcing Albertans to pay more to fill their tanks and heat their homes. Alberta Justice Minister Doug Schweitzer issued a statement warning that the cost of essential items such as groceries and clothing will rise as well. He said the cost of doing business will increase at one of the worst possible times for our province. Economic analysis of the former Alberta government's carbon tax showed that upwards of 16,000 fewer jobs would be created every year due to the carbon tax. He went on to say that in 2019, Albertans overwhelmingly rejected carbon taxes at the ballot box twice, and that, quote, "We kept our commitment to scrap Alberta's carbon tax, and we are steadfast in our commitment to stand up for our province, including with our current challenge at the Alberta Court of Appeals and supporting Saskatchewan and Ontario with their legal efforts as well." Federal Conservative leader Andrew Scheer began the new year with advice for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau about how to heal regional divides and foster national unity. Scheer said in a news release yesterday that Trudeau should stop attacking the Western Canadian economy, respect provincial jurisdiction, and scrap the carbon tax. But the federal government says the increase will be offset by a rebate program. A town southwest of Edmonton has joined a number of other municipalities across Canada in officially banning plastic grocery bags. As of the first day of 2020, stores in Devon can no longer distribute single-use plastic bags. Council voted in the new policy back in November and let residents know by giving each household 2 reusable bags featuring 2 local artists. Mayor Ray Ralph says plastic bags just end up in the town's waste system because he says the plastic is too thin to be recycled. Thousands of tourists are fleeing Australia's eastern coast as high temperatures and strong winds are expected to fan wildfires this weekend. The military has started rescuing people who have been trapped near the shore in the coastal resort town of Malakuta. 17 people have been killed and more than 1,400 homes have been destroyed in Australia's worst wildfire season on record. Dozens of Canadian volunteers are on the ground in Australia, assisting with wildfire command and management. Police in Fresno, California say they have arrested 6 suspected gang members in the shooting deaths of 4 men last month while they were watching a football game in a backyard gathering of family and friends. Police also say they've recovered 2 guns used in the slayings.
This extensive investigation has led to the arrest of the following 6 suspects for the shootings and murders that occurred at Lamona residence. All 6 suspects are self-admitted Mongolian Boys Society gang members. Suspect Billy Zhang, 25 years, of Fresno. Anthony Montez, a 27-year-old, also of Fresno. Porge Ku, 26 years, of Fresno. Johnny Zhang, 25 years old, of Fresno. Pao Vang, 19 years old, of Fresno. And Giovanni Delgado, 19 years, of Fresno. All 6 of these suspects have been arrested, and we are requesting the following charges against them: 4 counts of homicide, 12 counts of attempted homicide, conspiracy to commit murder. These charges will also include gang and firearm enhancements. Each suspect is now being held on over $11 million of bail each.
If you think the tumbleweed problem is bad in Lethbridge from the wind, check out this video. In rural Washington, cars were actually trapped beneath a wall of tumbleweeds.
We have confirmed no one is in this car, but we are trying to access the license plate to get a hold of the owner.
And if you're a college football fan, New Year's Day is often spent watching the Rose Bowl, and the Rose Bowl parade in Pasadena is a huge tradition. Marching bands and floral floats took to Colorado Boulevard under mostly sunny California skies as the 131st Rose Parade drew between 750,000 and 1 million spectators on New Year's Day. Our temperature began quite mild today, not quite as nice as Pasadena, but it's expected to get cooler as the day progresses. A complete look at your weather forecast is coming up right after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to our first weather forecast of 2020. For today, we're going to be seeing a mixed bag of precipitation. We have some flurries outside right now, but it could be changing to rain later on today as the temperature changes as well. Today's high is going to be 2 degrees, a low of -6 overnight, and a high of 8 degrees tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud. And then look, we're already looking ahead to the weekend with lots of sunshine on Saturday and Sunday. 7 degrees is the high on Saturday, 4 degrees is the high on Sunday. Should be a lovely weekend ahead of us. Monday's high will be around 0 degrees and climbing to 3 degrees on Tuesday and then dropping to -2 next Wednesday. So it should be a not too bad of a week. According to the almanac, our high this time of year should be around -2, and it looks like we are seeing temperatures well above that. The lowest, the low average should be around -14. We're not really getting anywhere close to that at all. The high temperature recorded on this day was back in 2002. It was 11 degrees. The lowest temperature was -34. That was back in 1950. The sun will be rising this morning at 8:29 a.m. and will be setting this afternoon around 4:40 p.m. Looking to the west coast, Victoria and Vancouver will see some rain showers today with highs of 8 degrees and 5 degrees in those respective cities. Edmonton, we're going to be seeing a high of -1 with a chance of precipitation there, possibly flurries. Same thing, though, expected for Calgary. Saskatoon's high is -3 today. -1 is the high expected in Regina. Both of those cities as well will be seeing chances of flurries. The high today for Winnipeg is -4. And same thing, chance of flurries over there. Our friends in Toronto will be seeing a lovely day of 7 degrees. A high of 4 degrees is expected in Ottawa, and a high of 3 degrees is expected in Montreal. And those cities as well will be seeing chances of precipitation, possibly showers or flurries also in Montreal. Fredericton's high today will be 0 degrees. The high in Halifax will be 2. Charlottetown's high will be a -1 degree, and St. John's high will be -1. St. John, though, also expected to see a mix of flurries changing to showers this afternoon. That's your highlights. Here's a look at what's happening in your community.
Here's your Bridge City News Community Calendar. Warm your hearts this season and come enjoy the Winter Light Festival at the Nikayuko Japanese Garden until January 31st. Gates are open from 6 to 9 p.m. Experience the illumination of over 100,000 lights decorating the beautifully shaped trees and garden. Admission is $9 for adults, $7 for kids ages 6 to 15, and various ticket packages are also available. For more information, visit nikayuko.com. Compassionate Friends is a nonprofit international support group for parents who have lost a child either recently or long ago. This group meets the first Saturday of the month from 10 a.m. to noon at McKillop United Church. Parents and their supporting family members and friends are encouraged to attend, observe, and talk about their experiences with other parents. Looking for a fun place where you and your kids can play? Come for a fun family night to the Family Center in downtown Lethbridge, Thursday evenings from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m., beginning January 9th. Me and My Family promotes learning through play and provides a safe place for kids to explore through physical activity, imagination, and creativity. For more information, visit famcenter.ca. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.
Well, for most of us, it's time to head back home from the holidays or back to work even. But for others, the festivities continue. If you are still entertaining or want to keep the oven going with baking, check out today's daily life hack. If your guests are Star Wars fans, here's what you can do. Use an angel cookie cutter as you normally would, then cut off the head of the cookie, add some icing, and you can create Baby Yoda cookies. There you go. I guess they're just upside down. And that's been your daily life hack. A Michigan zoo is celebrating its first ever birth of a baby black rhino. Dopsy, a 12-year-old female, gave birth to her very first calf, a male born on Christmas Eve at Potter Park Zoo in Lansing. No word yet on what the baby's name is. As fires continue to burn around New South Wales and Queensland, Australia, Samaritan's Purse continues to access where to help next, as the job is huge and the help is limited. This next video is from deployment in Killabuck, New South Wales, where many houses were completely destroyed during this deployment. Samaritan's Purse volunteers worked on multiple homes per day, removing rubble and debris from properties, cleaning ash from water tanks, chopping down fallen trees, clearing land, and most importantly, caring for families and individuals who are struggling to comprehend how to piece their lives back together.
Probably one of those things that you won't really notice or not really be able to put into words until after it's all over.
And once the fire started approaching the house, it was like we thought we were gone. We honestly thought we were gone. He's driving down the driveway and the car down the bottom of the driveway blew up. Sorry. And I thought my husband had perished in the fire with that car blowing up. I thought it was our car that blew up.
They got nothing at all, and it just really had an effect on me. You know, go home and you turn the tap on and you think, well, you know, I've got running water, and then you think, well, I've actually got a house, you know.
Sometimes when we do even the smallest job for them, it seems to make a big impact. The consistent comments that we get back, even when we've done a very small job, is they say, wow, I feel a little more in control now. And they say, wow, I think I can see my way forward now.
Until just recently, we just had no idea where to start. Like trees, fences. Well, there's no words that can describe the gratitude and the comfort of knowing that, you know, we don't have to do this on our own. That, you know, this is the start for us. And now that this is done, we can sort of start seeing a bit of light that will encourage us to keep going.
When a U.S. Major General first met with the founder of the African Children's Choir, he was inspired to pass on all his leadership experience to launch a mentoring program in Kenya and Uganda. Since then, the organization he launched, called African Odyssey, has seen countless young members of the African Children's Choir go on to achieve great things, including getting a university education against all odds. Peter Wooding from Global News Alliance reports.
After serving for more than 30 years as a U.S. Marine, Major General Thomas Jones is on a mission to mobilize the next generation of African leaders and change makers. Having established a significant initiative in the States called Outdoor Odyssey, General Jones was inspired to launch something similar for the African Children's Choir after meeting their founder, Ray Barnett, affectionately known to many as Daddy Ray.
In 2015, I joined Daddy Ray. We went to South Africa, Swaziland, Uganda, and Kenya. And that led to the development of African Odyssey. I came back to Africa again later in the summer with my daughter, And we set up a mentoring program. I put a team together then, a mobile training team, with a couple of warriors, a couple wounded warriors, and went back to Africa for about 4 months, and that was kind of the first orientation of African Odyssey.
And he believes this work among the African Children's Choir is one of the most effective projects he's ever seen.
Without question, even all the work I've done in Outdoor Odyssey with mentoring, I think we've done a lot of great things with a lot of kids. They're probably the mentoring program in the African Children's Choir can probably be the best mentoring program that I've ever seen, because all the kids, they're all disenfranchised to a certain degree, and the kids just, I mean, they were just soaking it up. Because it's all predicated on agape love. It's all predicated on genuine concern. It's all predicated on somebody taking ownership and eyeball to eyeball, kneecap to kneecap engagement.
General Jones says he was inspired to pass on what helped him to overcome his own challenges as a troubled young boy.
Well, I was an at-risk kid myself, and if I hadn't been helped by somebody, I may not even finish school. And I got some mentoring, and that's why I'm such a fanatic on mentoring. And this individual that helped me, I mean, I made a promise to him I would go to university and stay, and one of my roommates left the college and went to Marine Corps, and he asked me to go, and I almost did, but I didn't because I made a promise that I would stay in college.
The General concluded by sharing that his key motivation to see young people succeed in life is his Christian faith.
It helps me right now. I'm the founder and executive director of an organization which I don't draw any money from, but I sure get a lot of inspiration from the experiences. In the final analysis of things, if I hope somebody says, hey, much like Daddy Ray was, he was an impactor and a change maker of people, and they wanted to be more like Daddy Ray. And I hope someday somebody said I wouldn't mind being like Tom Jones, or he inspired me to be a better person.
Peter Wooding for the Global News Alliance.
When it comes to speaking with people from other religions, what's the best way about going about that? Dr. Irving Hexum, a professor of religious studies from the University of Calgary, has an idea. That's coming up in the second half of our show. Stay with us.